History is not just written by the victors. It is also carved by the monsters we choose to remember. But what of the monsters who fade from our collective memory, whose names are whispered only in the crumbling archives of forgotten towns? Such is the story of Poly Bartle, a specter haunting the wind-scoured plains of Wyoming. A killer the world forgot, but history didn't. In the sprawling, rugged territory of the Wild West, where life was a daily battle against nature and man, Poly Bartle was not a notorious outlaw with a price on his head. He wasn't a folk devil whose name mothers used to scare their children. Instead, he was a shadow, a man who moved on the periphery of society. His face likely was ordinary, his presence unremarkable. This was the very source of his terror. While legends of gunslingers like Billy the Kid were being forged in the fire of public spectacle, Bartle's evil was a quiet private thing, festering in the isolation of the frontier. His story is not one of dramatic shootouts or daring train robberies. It is a story of silent disappearances, the lone prospector who never returned to camp, the ranch hand who vanished after collecting his pay, the traveler who set out on a known trail and was never seen again. In a land where death by exposure, accident, or animal attack was commonplace, these absences were tragic, but not immediately suspicious. They were the cost of taming a wild land. It was this very normality that became Poly Bartle's hunting ground. The emotional weight of his story lies not in the gore, but in the profound, lingering grief of the unknown. Imagine the families, the wives, the parents, the children, left with a void where a loved one should be. There were no bodies to bury, no closure to be found, only the agonizing question mark that hung over their lives. Their sorrow was a silent, lonely one, without a target for their anger or a name for their villain. Their pain was Poly Bartle's true legacy, a legacy of unanswered questions that echoed across the generations. So why has history in its cold, impartial way refused to fully forget him? Because the pattern once finally seen was undeniable. The scattered bones discovered in secluded ravines, the small remote settlements that had experienced a strange cluster of missing persons. These fragments, pieced together by later generations of historians and true crime researchers, formed a chilling mosaic. They revealed a predator who used the vast, empty landscape as his weapon. Poly Bartle's name may not be etched in the pop culture pantheon of infamy. The world, with its short attention span, has largely moved on. But history, the meticulous keeper of truths, has not. It remembers him not as a legend, but as a stark reminder. A reminder that the most profound evils are often not the loudest,